Vänta.
Tucked away between the cons and the cazadors, somewhere in a canyon, is a little town that everyone thinks is a ghost town. Perhaps it once was, but the vipers that perhaps could have once turned into a ghost town are now ghosts themselves. And somewhere between then and now, some new people moved in and they need our help. So let's go meet them. We arrive in the town to the sound of gunfire and then we rush to help them out. I was warned about this. You're supposed to start this quest with a fresh save, but I didn't. And if you don't, like I just did, the people get attacked like this and then they die. I don't normally cheat, but it would be kind of a shame to miss out on interacting with half the mod's NPCs, so we're rolling the dice and reloading. Alright, so I managed to save everyone but these two dead guys. If they are quest relevant, I'll resurrect them, but I'm hoping that the mod follows the New Vegas design and accounts for them potentially dying. I guess we'll know when we know. For now, let's head inside the saloon and greet the locals. Okay, so neither of these two are very friendly or very helpful. The old lady is nicer and she asks us to get rid of a drunk at the bar, and he was rude before, so I'm game for that. With him convinced to go to a bar at the bottom of a lurk-filled lake.
Really? Oh man, I gotta go to that, man.
We return to the old lady and she tells us to go help out the people around the town. First we gotta help a couple with a new baby get rid of a guy who's kind of creepy and stalking them. Confronting him doesn't help, but he did let it slip that he is an army deserter, so I suppose we can go turn him into the NTR. But I found this note over here that says XOX and there are 3 light switches, so I'm guessing that the note translates to off, on, off, and flipping the switches to reproduce that sequence unlocks the secret room in his bedroom. Here we learn that the patriarch of the town died by the hands of this man because the patriarch tried to turn him into the NTR, and this guy here then shot him because he was scared. And because he felt very bad about it, he decided to set up shop in town and keep an eye out on the dead guy's family out of a sense of duty, and that is why he's been acting creepy. It's honestly quite noble, so I'm gonna blackmail him into just leaving, and then I'm just gonna tell the people that I made him leave without letting the details of how and why slip. Next we help the local doctor find his research assistant. She's dead. She went to go pick brock flowers and got killed, but suspiciously she doesn't seem to have been killed by any of the local fauna, but by an axe instead. We then return to the doctor and we find out that he couldn't give less of a shit that she is dead. He's just pissed that we didn't pick up the brock flowers for him, so we go back and do that.
It would be quite an honor for you.
The last of the townspeople we need to help out is the sheriff.
Ever since the Johnsons went missing, people have been worried.
A local businessman and his family has gone missing, and the sheriff gives us a key to go look in his house for clues. Curiously enough, we find another axe lodged in a beam here, which seems odd. Downstairs we learn through a terminal that he wanted to kill himself and that he was so far gone that he had to sell his gun to the other local business owner, which explains why we saw the gun in that guy's stock earlier. With that mystery closed, another one opens as we find his daughter's journal, and she mentions a mysterious man that she was infatuated with and that he is new in town and mysterious as I mentioned before. That usually means slavers, and as we go to question her best friend we learn that, definitely slavers. We also learn that the suitor is actually one of the dead people outside, and on his corpse we find a note that mentions a club in Freeside. The missing girl's friend Brianna insists on going with us, and yeah, that's gonna be fucking tough. We gotta go right through fiend-infested South Vegas from here, so this is not gonna be easy. Just outside Bonnie Springs, we run into serial killers fighting geckos, and a stone's throw from that, we run into the main fiend force as we have to go right past their main base. Fighting off the main force and a squad of attack dogs, we start hearing NCR gunfire, and that means that we're safe. We arrive at the club and buy our way in, and Brianna is chasing one of the prostitutes with the chainsaw. Alright, this actually makes things kind of easier. It really frightens the guards as well and makes them not do guard things, so we can easily make the rounds and ask the prostitutes about the 2 missing girls, and perhaps due to the chainsaw wielding fiend running around, they pretty quickly point us towards the big boss of the club, who we can then easily get to convince to tell us all the info that we need because of the previously mentioned chainsaw. And, you know, he just gives us the girl no problem, and then we go back to Bonnie Springs. That was like super easy. I was fully expecting that we sort of either had to, you know, either physically sneak our way in and not be seen, or, you know, James Bond talk our way in, or just, you know, terminate our way in. But we didn't, because the little teenager from Bonnie Springs apparently had a chainsaw for some reason. We meet back up with the sheriff and start putting 2 and 2 together. Convinced that an organized group is behind this, we head over to the Brunton house, as they used to be raiders themselves, and the sheriff will head to Red Rock Canyon and speak to the cons. The Bruntons aren't exactly forthcoming with information. The one that is alive anyways. See, one of them is one of the dead people outside, and only the sister remains of the family. Snooping around her house reveals that they used to be fiends, and looking through her diary, we learn that they didn't kidnap anyone. The sheriff is suspiciously not back yet, so we follow his trail and find his corpse and an axe next to it just outside town. Going where he was going, we find out from the cons that they have also had people go missing as well. They suggest we head to Vault 19 where the powder gangers are holed up, but here we find out that they have been under lockdown the entire time that this has been going on. However, one of the more loopy members first insists that this is the known people, but then we suggest that it is the Axeman, and he says that there's no such thing as a man made of axes. But there are, however, rumors of people that live beyond the hills and eat the flesh of villagers, and that they come at night. Returning to the town, we oh shit, everyone is dead. Doug is alive, but barely. He mumbles something about them taking her being the baby. Them, who knows. Outside the saloon, we find an axe, of course. And on a nearby hill overlooking the town, we find the remains of a spotter's nest. This is definitely where they scoped out the town, and that's Deputy Slim down there. How odd. We go down to confront Slim, and he is acting very shady. As he turns around, I take the opportunity to look in his pocket, and he is carrying an axe. I try to take it, but then he catches me, and then Cass and I gun him down. From the note on Slim's body, we learn that he is part of a clan that lives in the Forbidden Zone in some hills, like down to the south, and that they have been capturing people and taking them there to eat them. So the loopy one in Vault 19 wasn't all wrong on that particular prediction. We make a pit stop in Good Springs, and then we stock up on ammo, and then we head towards the Forbidden Zone and fight our way past the irradiated monsters and make our way into the hills where the desert people live. Here we gun our way past the desert folk and head into their main compound. Inside is a network of dark tunnels that is absolutely fucking full of monsters. And making our way through the tunnels, we come across a big room, where we are then confronted by the patriarch of the desert people, Ishmael. He talks and talks and talks, and as he concludes, he throws a concussion grenade and knocks us out. When we wake up, we are on our knees, and in front of us are the remaining townsfolk that the desert people haven't killed yet. Ismael demands that we make a choice on who to kill, and honestly, the choice is easy. We're gonna choose Larry. Larry doesn't have any family here in the town, and Andrea, well, she has. And also, Andrea's kind of hot, and she's on a path to redemption, so I'm not gonna sentence her to death. I'm sorry, but goodbye, Larry. We get knocked out once again, and when we wake up, we're in a cell. Before we can really figure out what the hell is going on, a prisoner we don't recognize attacks one of the Bonnie Springs residents, and we kill her. Using a bobby pin found on the ground, we then pick the lock and fight off a guard, and assisting us in this is Drake, the deserter that we chased off. He's here to help and, gloat a bit about the situation we're in, and together with Drake we fight off the hillfolk and arm everyone. During our escape we learn that Riley, the baby from Bonnie Springs, is in the slaughterhouse. As we arrive in the slaughterhouse we find out that we are too late. Riley is being taken to a sacrificial site. See, the hillfolk believe that the radiation that they live in is a curse and that sacrificing humans is the only way to get rid of it. And they have concluded that since it hasn't worked yet, that they have to try with a baby, the most innocent beings of all. There are a lot of bad guys between here and the sacrificial site, and all the commotion has attracted the attention of, well, all of the remaining desert folk. But luckily, Neptune's equipment is here in the slaughterhouse, which means that it's sniper time. We leave the villagers here in relative safety, and then we make our way to the sacrificial site. At the site, we, under the influence of a skill mag, confront Ismael and convince him to stand down. And we grab Riley and we head home. This is awesome. The end is kind of bittersweet, and every choice we made along the way had an impact on something. Like us deciding not to bring Doc resulted in him dying, unfortunately. I would have loved to return to Beta Springs and, make this Neptune's home and come back every once in a while and wave at the villagers as I dumped off equipment and, exchange companions. But my hat is also very much off to the mod's author for scorched earthing the ending like this and making the whole thing bittersweet. Well, this has been extremely fun and sad, but how does it rank? Well, I'm 4th. Above Point Lookout, but beyond... No, you know what? Fuck that. It ranks 2nd. I had so much fun with this. There were moments in Beyond Boulder and in Lonesome Road where I was like, ugh, I guess I have to trek over to that place all the way over there and do that thing. But I just never at any point felt that in Home on the Wastes. It perfectly lured me in with its busy work, during which it introduced the mystery, and then it built upon that. We arrived at a dead end, did another quest thinking that it was over, which was the real threat on its own, and then it fucking pulled the rug out from under us when we returned and everyone was dead. And then it really threw a curveball when it introduced a whole new world space in the Forbidden Zone and a desert doomsday cult and a charismatic cult leader that it then let us disarm with words at the top of a mountain-legged Lania style. But damn, I was gonna rank it beneath Boulder, but because Boulder is such a fucking achievement. But this is so fucking fun. It doesn't bring anything really new to the table except epic storytelling, bro. Damn. if this just had a few more custom assets, a little more level design in Bonnie Springs, and a few custom textures for the desert people and their area, and you know, for the main guy as well, it would have been a solid 2 on my list, but I have to give it a 2 with an asterisk. You know what? No, fuck that, I don't. Because video games are about fucking telling stories, and this little mod video game tells a fucking great story. Yeah, Lonesome Road, kind of cool because it like dives into philosophy and all that bullshit, and it lets you like fucking it lets you like shoot nukes on the Mojave, and that's, you know, kind of cool. Because, you know, it has like real fucking consequences to a story, and I like that. It's cool, and you know, the Markmen, I also like those and all that. And Beyond Boulder is a mod that was made like a fucking year after the Ultimate Edition came out of the game, and it is a fully fledged expansion to New Vegas that's just as technically impressive as all the other expansions that Obsidian officially made. And there's a little bit about the story, but you know, it's a fucking mod, and it came out the year after the Ultimate Edition of the game. And it's so fucking impressive because it features a completely new world space, which this mod team was the only fucking mod team that could do this at this point. And it features a lot of custom assets, and I think like some fucking perks and at least some guns, and it's very fucking impressive. But this little shitty ass mod that's made by some idiot named like Cellblock Psycho or some shit. This is the best quests I have ever played in New Vegas. And I have to make it my second favorite expansion of like the whole Fallout 3 sphere of influence. Because it's so fucking fun. It tugs on your fucking heartstrings, and it's so good. You have to play it. You have to play it. It's so fucking fun. And I think it's important to realize that this mod makes me so passionate about video games that I have to raise my voice and shout in a room where I'm completely alone. So I have to go take my heart medication now, and I'll see you next time. Please go play Home on the Wastes, a mod made by Cellblock Psycho. It's super excellent, and it is it's episode 0 of a so far. I think part 4 is coming out soon. Oh well, I think part 3 is coming out soon, which is the 4th part. See, Cellblock Psycho is an idiot, and he names things stupid like they do in Japan. And yeah, that's it for me. Until next time, bye bye.